So we'd like to say thank you for letting us into your living room, into your office, wherever you are, however you're watching us. My name is Inten, and my Friday promises to be an interesting edition.
Yeah, you know how it feels when Friday comes along. My name is Avamiri. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Cross River Friday edition. Of course, Friday has a lot in store for you. That's why we love to say thank God
It is Friday.
You know, after the hustles and bustles of the entire week, when Friday comes, it's just this big relief.
Of course, weekend is at the corner, the rest is just by the corner.
Exactly.
Okay, we'd like to start.
So,
Snooping around. But there used to be a program like that. I used to know that there used to be a program titled Snooping Around with 1, 2, 3, 4 person or something. But is it okay to snoop around?
yeah, it reminds me of eavesdropping.
Eavesdropping, yes. And somebody's talking and you're just like somewhere, just trying to like hear something. Probably gossip there on.
Or probably someone is chatting up and you're trying to string
Yeah,
the neck.
exactly. When you're like in a taxi or something, you're trying to send a message, and the next person beside you
It's really so much interesting and you're wondering why.
Well, you're
maybe
beefing
it's
or
that
something.
message. Or probably you're a wife or a husband, and then probably he drops his cell phone, you pick it up and you
Yeah,
want to
like-
see what's been going on.
and then he just pops in and you're like, oh, well, is that okay or is not okay? There's a report on that, so I'm sure you like to, watch what people have to say about snooping around.
Okay, snooping around. When snooping around comes and goes now, there's something on selfie syndrome. Everybody wants to take a selfie.
The selfie no means say,
You
I
selfish.
selfish, you know?
And you know the selfie stick thing now.
Exactly.
It just makes it a whole lot easier.
Just-
An entire family, and then
And then you go into the selfie.
and you put it up online. And you know, there's a new word in the dictionary now, selfities. Or selfities.
Selfies.
Exactly.
Which is the selfie syndrome thing, where you're too, into the selfie thing.
Maybe you need some medical attention or something.
Probably. And someone said, I read a post on Facebook, someone said, never take a guy who is into selfies seriously. He either needs attention, he needs a relationship, or he lacks what to do, something like that. And here are things about it. But the thing is, since the advent of mobile phones with the front cameras, the selfies in the front haywire.
And then you don't just take those selfies. When you take it, you want to put it on Facebook, you want someone to like it, you want to put it on Instagram, you want people to follow you, different things.
I'm telling you.
Okay,
so the selfie syndrome comes and goes. When you greet someone, like we are in this part of the world, is a handshake. Hey bro, how you doing? Hello, even in the office, good morning sir. But pops out the hand, you shake. But when it goes beyond the hug, what does it mean? When you hug a family person, okay, showing love, hug a colleague in the office, what does it mean?
Okay, well, it could be so consoling,
Maybe someone's in grief.
Exactly.
Okay.
So let's say it would just be said to be an informal way of greeting or something like that, or a closer way. Yeah.
But so many people have different meanings for a hug.
Definitely,
So
not just walk down
that-
to the office and hug your boss.
You're like, hey, you know, are you?
Oh, please. Okay, away from that, yesterday, 7th day of January, the launching of the Armed Forces Remembrance Day emblem was done at the Cultural Center Menbol, and so we'll be bringing you excerpts from that event which took place yesterday.
Definitely, don't forget, every Friday we look at a particular color. And for today, on the segment Colors on You, we're going to be looking at the color pink. What does it mean to you? A lot of people say it's connected to one thing or another. Find out in that segment.
Okay, Friday also brings you men from the fire service talking about one thing or the other, how to prevent fires, what to do and what not to do. And so there's something here on possible entry to residential buildings. That's when they have to go through the residential buildings to put out the fire or something, probably when the occupant of that building is not quickly at reach. So all of these and lots more on Good Morning Cross River Friday edition. The day has just begun and the show has just begun. My name is Abamiri Adi. Good morning and welcome.
And of course, my name is Inten. The pleasure is ours to welcome you to the program. If we're ready, we are set. Let the show begin.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may we please rise as we welcome the #1 citizen of Cross River State, amiable digital governor of Cross River State, the quintessential Senator Professor Ben Ayade, governor of Cross River State.
Your Excellency, Governor of Cross River, Senator Professor Ben Ayade, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Cross River State, Professor Ibarra Jemot Esu, the Honorable Speaker and members of Cross River State House of Assembly, my Lord, the State Chief Judge, members of the State Executive Council, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all to the 2016 Armed Forces Remembrance Activities, which starts today with the launching of the Remembrance Emblem. As you are all aware, this period is especially set aside nationwide to recall and appreciate the supreme sacrifices paid by officers and men of the armed forces during the First and Second World Wars, the Nigerian Civil War, and other peacekeeping operations within and outside the country. This was to ensure peace, maintain unity of our dear country, and protect lives and property. Many of our gallant officers lost their lives in these peacekeeping missions, while some suffered various forms of injury and have become incapacitated. Families of these departed heroes are now left stranded and in need of help for survival through the Nigerian Legion. Very recently, officers and men of armed forces have taken bull by the horn and resisted the deadly activities of Boko Haram insurgents in the northeastern part of the country. We commend our gallant officers and men and pray that peace return to the entire country shortly. We are therefore appealing to all of us to generously purchase Remembrance Emblem. As the proceeds realized therefrom will enable the Nigerian Legion assist widows and children of their departed colleagues. I welcome all of you to this event and wish you all a happy new year as you celebrate the Remembrance Week with us. Thank you and God bless.
An address presented by Colonel Timothy Oshi, CNC IISSN, retired, State Chairman, Nigerian Legion, on the occasion of the launching of Remembrance Emblem to mark the 216th Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration held at Calabar, Cross River State on the 7th January 2016. Your Excellency, sir, permit me please to digress a bit because the speech, as I have there, the precedents have been adjusted. It is not as you have on the speeches at your disposal there. Your Excellency, the Governor of Cross River State, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Cross River State, please permit me to express my profound joy in having the privilege of addressing this gathering on the occasion of launching of Remembrance Emblem Appeal Week to mark the 2016 Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration. I am overwhelmed by the turnout of our esteemed guests in spite of your tight programs of duty. By this special grace, we thank God for His protection and blessing in the year 2015. I wish to use this medium to congratulate His Excellency Professor Senator Ben Ayade and his Deputy Professor Ibarra Esu on their success in the 2015 election. This period, as you are all aware, is being observed throughout the country in commemoration of the death of heroes who laid down their lives in defense of their fatherland and to keep Nigeria one.
Fellow Nigerians, we are here gathered today for the Emblem Remembrance for 2016. Today is a special day for us to reflect on the inputs, hard work of our heroes past and heroes today. It is clear on record that the Nigerian Armed Forces have fought through the First World War, Second World War, the Civil War, and even the insurgencies that have occurred in the last few years. Far more important also is that the Nigerian Legion and indeed the Nigerian Armed Forces have contributed our quota for the sustenance of the integrity of Africa. It is sad to know that in spite of all these efforts, it is obvious that the loved ones that they have left behind have been reduced to the state of want in body and in spirit. It is against that background that we are gathered here today to say that we must have a solemn reflection on the contributions of all of these our heroes. People who have given and have paid supreme price for the peace and unity that we enjoy today. That Nigeria must continuously remain as an indivisible nation. That foundation, that hard work, started with the Nigerian Armed Forces. And so to that extent, I call on every one of us to have a solemn reflection of all the contributions of these great men and women. To use this opportunity to also thank them and commemorate this special event. And to say, as the people of Cross River State, our hearts go with you. They go with the widows. They go with the young loved ones that you have left behind. And like in the spirit of the ghost, that a ghost that walked past and saw a young man running away from the ghost. And the ghost turned back and said, "What you are, I was, and what I am, you shall be." And so let us all remember that at one point or the other, we shall also be retired people. It is only a reality in life that a man that has put in so much to make you what you are today, when he becomes weak and feeble, when he no longer can stand, that is the time you must provide a shoulder for him to lean on. All of us must provide those shoulders. It is Afrocentric. It is biblical. It is an injunction we must all honor. Every one of us must stretch the depth of our pocket. Stretch it to the greatest depth you can to ensure that you buy, purchase, support this emblem generously. Long live the Legion. Long live Cross River State. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Your Excellencies, please permit me to stand on existing protocol, which is very well established. On behalf of the Ministry of Sustainable Development and Social Welfare, I want to very sincerely thank God for this day, for His mercies, for His grace, for making us see a brand new year. I also thank His Excellency for his support, his encouragement, his leadership, as well as his drive. I want to assure you, Your Excellency, that as a ministry, we will not rest on our oars, but we will fire from all cylinders and will also sustain the momentum. Your Excellency, I also want to appreciate the service commanders for our support they've given to us, their support they have given to us, and of course to the Legion. I thank them so very much. I thank the committee for putting this activity and event together. I thank every one of you for making our day. And as you return back to your offices, I wish you all a very rewarding and productive day. Thank you and God bless you.
Hello and thanks for staying tuned to your Paradise station. Of course, I'm joined by someone from the Cross River State Fire Service. He's the PRO and the person of Mr. Cletus Marquez. Good to have you on the program.
Thank you very much. Good morning, dear.
Okay, like every week we bring you different things. We talk about firefighting, we talk about fire prevention, and a whole lot of other stuff. And today on the show, we'll be talking about possible entry. What do we need to know about possible entry? Why possible entry? All of these and many more on the show today. So let's get started. What do we need to know first of all?
Yeah, before we get to know what possible entry is, we have an enabling law that gives us the power to enter into a property, a building without the consent of the occupier when we deem it necessary that there is a fire outbreak in that property, and without the consent we have the rights to break in. And this law is Edict number 3 of 1985, paragraph 5, part 4, subsection 1, E and D, that says a fireman on duty who is in charge of the operational units has the rights to break into a property, break into a building where the consent of the occupier or the owner for purpose of firefighting and rescue services. And now, possible entry is a technique that firefighters apply to enter into a property that the normal entrance is locked or locked. And with this enabling law, we have the right to break in using any equipment to enable us enter into the property for purpose of firefighting and rescue services.
Okay, so this is basically done when the owner of the property is not around.
Yes, it is done when not they say when the property owner is not there, but when we expect or suspect fire outbreak or chemical storage in a property that is capable of causing fire outbreak, or a kind of somebody who is entrapped in a confined environment for purpose of rescue, we go in through forcible entry.
Okay, so what if you get in and you discover it wasn't really what you were expecting?
There is this aspect of a kind of false call, but before we go in there, we must have evidence to show that something actually happened. Now, there must be smoke, there must be alarm in the house, or we'll have an information of storage of petroleum products, or somebody is entrapped, maybe in an aircraft, in a car, in a ship, for purpose of rescue. We go there, break in, what we call extrication. Sometimes we've discussed on this program.
So tell us basically, how is this forcible entry done?
Yeah, this forcible entry is done with use of kind of equipment, what we call prime equipment, trying equipment, striking equipment, breaking equipment, and all of that. And then there's one acronym we apply. Before you go into forcible entry, you at first try before you prime. Now, what am I saying? You try to ensure that the doors are open for you to go in, and when the doors do not allow you access, then you pry. But prime means you are going to use equipment that will enable you to go in by cutting through the door, cutting through the ship, cutting through the car. That is the axe, a kind of a handsaw, and other machineries that will enable you go in for purpose of rescue. And most, these days we are conscious of security. We have gates and barricades with locks. So when the owner may be outside for business or other endeavors, and we suspect fire, we may not wait for him or her. Perhaps some person is trapped in there. We go in there with this equipment, break in, go in, put up the fire, and rescue whoever may be a victim in the property.
You know, this actually sounds risky.
Yes.
Yes, because there could be some kind of trick involved. Someone could decide to play a trick, on the fireman and just probably raise some kind of false alarm. And then you go and there's something bigger waiting for you then, not fire this time.
Yeah, that's where we apply the practical firemanship. Now, a fireman is a man who enter into an extraordinary kind of action, extraordinary activity. Though he's not an extraordinary man. And a fireman goes there with initiative. He goes there with courage, encouraging minds. We go there and snappy. And when we go, and we go in, you sight and sight the environment. And a fireman is conscious of safety. And if where he's going there is not safe, he wouldn't enter. Are you getting me? So you ensure that the safety and the security and something actually have prompted him to go there for purpose of emergency. As you are going as a rescuer, you are cautious of your own life because you as a rescuer cannot be a victim. So if we go there, if any takes place, but most time we turn up for false calls. And when we go there, we don't see any fire, we come back safe. Because we are cautious, as our driver are cautious. With that encouragement, initiative, and that encouragement to go into a scene of that nature.
Okay, so people actually just put a false
go ahead.
Yeah. Sometimes they put false calls to us. Now to try to see how perfect we are. And sometimes these mock calls turn out to be real. Sometimes they put it up so that we just go there for show. But on the way, we may discover it's real. Turn out from initial intention to be real action. And we do what we want to do and get out there, save the life and properties involved.
Okay, has there actually been any real life scenario of possible entry that you've experienced?
There was this property in a Tagbo in 2001 that the owner of that property had traveled to Europe for over 5 years, and there was a fire in the building, and we went in there to break through 5 gates before we entered the property, and behold, there was no life, there was no electrical connection, nothing, but just the debris, the packed solid fuel, like clothing, papers, and all of that rubbish in the house that erupted with the presence of fuel, oxygen, heat, and there was fire on its own. We put out the fire. And also in in 99, 2000 also, we suspected a storage of petroleum products in a dwelling house, numbering up to 200 cans. So we went in there, alert the crew, we broke in and brought out those petroleum products because they were capable of causing fire. I know fuel fire is devastating. So these are areas I have experienced at a kind of the action of forcible entry. We don't need to get consent from anybody. And even when a kind of a vehicle is parked on a way we are on into where we are going for a rescue, we have the rights without any consent and without any prejudice to remove the vehicle out of our way and move in there. Perhaps the person we are going to rescue is the governor, could be your brother, or could be an animal, could be anything. We break in without the consent of the owner. Back up with this law, this enabling law, the gadgets, and the fire service edicts of 1985. This gives us the power to break in and do our statutory job.
Okay, so we are basically saying that if people need to travel or are going to be away for a long while, there are certain things they do not have to have in the house, so it does not ignite fire.
Yes, exactly. If you are traveling out of your place, put off every little gadget, disconnect it off completely. The freezer, disconnect it. And if you have kept some clothing that are dirty and they were not washed, please don't pack them up because they can cause fire on its own. And something like gunpowder, chemicals, ethanoic acid, butane, ethane, all these chemicals, don't stock them in the house, and don't even attempt to store kerosene. Don't attempt to store fuel in the house or petroleum products. On its own, it can cause fire and will cause us that now stress because that short time will break in. Fire is continuing and the down will be intensive. So make sure that you don't lock anything that will be capable of causing fire in your absence in a house and travel. It is dangerous.
Okay, I'm just wondering how this actually works. Dirty clothes and fire. Where is the link? How does that work?
You know, there's this latent heat of evaporation, ignition. Now, we desire to have fuel, either liquid or solid fuel. We have oxygen. We have a kind of heat to get fire. Now, when those debris are packed up, there's tendency of heat accumulated in it. The environment has oxygen. And just need heat, ignition. That material also is fuel. The material itself is fuel. Inside the material there's heat, and within the environment there's oxygen. What is it looking for? So on its own, there's this chemistry action that takes place within that environment and will just ignite fire. On its own, it happens. And even within this gunpowder also, just like fuel, when fuel is stuck in the house, there's no ventilation, no fuel breathes, the fumes diffuse. And when the environment is saturated with that fuse of fuel, and the environment becomes hot, very, very unconducive for life, and with oxygen around the environment, there's that tendency of ignition taking place on its own. And you see fire coming out without any human activity taking place. So we don't stock such a kind of properties in the house, mostly when you are not in the house.
Okay, we've actually seen incidents where gensets just get burning, probably when they are not even on. How does that work?
Good, that's what I'm saying. Now, in that gen, there is a kind of mechanical arrangement in the gen itself.
Even when it's not faulty?
Good. The gen, there's fuel there. Perhaps it is kept in a confined environment inside the house. The heat is accumulating day after day. Perhaps when you run the gen, there was heat out there. The smoke, the environment becomes toxic, becomes heated on its own to a level, the temperature level. That now that at that temperature level, the tendency that the ignition will come up on its own without any activity of man. So where you keep your gen, it should be where you have ventilation, where air goes in and out. And also the connection, even the connection now to the sockets No, most time when you don't on your electrical gadgets, there's that current that flow, and when you tap in that connection now, that friction on its own, you know clothes sometimes move. When you pile up clothes and they're heated, at the point the clothes will shift, that's a rupture now, can cause heat and fire will come out. So don't keep your clothes so dirty and heap. No, don't take a look at the debris, dustbin. Are you getting me? You come in the morning, you see a kind of heat coming out of the dustbin on its own, vibrating. And when you move out there, it's very hot and heated. So that alone can cause fire in a confined environment. Let alone this dustbin is outside environment where air passes. And then inside the house of such magnitude, there will be fire. And that will cause us to break in. Before we break in, the time delay, frequency of delay calls, all of that. And also, let me intimate the public that there should be rights way given to emergency vehicle. Not only the fire service, the ambulance, the police, uniform men. Anytime you hear a siren, please try and give way, right away to that vehicle. Perhaps they're going for a rescue. Could be your house, could be your child, could be your office, could be your premise, could be even your business center. So at any time you hear a siren coming for emergency, please give way. Maybe that person is run out of a kind of life, they're rushing him to the hospital to restate him. You give way for life to be restated. Maybe you are going for rescue of victims, or there's fire out there. Anytime you hear a siren coming, please give way. And I also advise my sister agent, the police, the civil defense, the road safety, when you hear the siren coming, please call a traffic. And if there is no traffic policeman, maybe there is traffic light controlling. The men on duty, be the fireman, whoever is on duty, you get out there and get the traffic flow. Control the traffic down, let the vehicle move. Now beat the traffic, we are going for emergency. Don't wait for the traffic light to call you, because you are going for emergency. Go out there and control the traffic. Let the line flow so you can move for rescue and safety.
Just before we go, I'm actually concerned about this aspect so much, because I've seen a lot of fire outbreaks as a result of gensets. People will tell you they can't do without this genset because of the kind of light supply we have around, and businesses and stuff like that just need to move on with light. Now, there are times when even when the gensets could be on and they tell you we just serviced it, so we don't understand why this happened, and it's running and suddenly there's a fire outbreak. How do people need to keep these gensets running that it could actually favor everybody, be used to them properly, and then do not cause fire outbreaks?
Let me start with PhD. I encourage the PhD. I appreciate them this day that they give a lot of energy supply, because when there's that energy supply from PhD, the tendency of running gen will not be there. And if you are on a gen, please and please, no, there's this way and tear in a gen. When a gen is not getting edging up, you know that's edging up. Go for services, and if there's any leakage, perhaps mostly leakages, there may be leakages even from the control valve where you turn in fuel and turn off fuel. So maybe the carburetor or the turn off aspect now, they may be weak. As such, when you turn off, it turn in itself and flow the fuel. So check all of that. And when you keep your gen sets, before you go to run it, even though you have just service, make sure you just run it, ensure that it's very okay. Because you may not leave it out there, and at all times attend to the gen. Don't on the gen, you go and sleep, attend to the gen, check the gen. Perhaps something could happen. Maybe the socket is not connecting well, the gen is running, and the light is flowing anyway. So anything get contact to any solid fuel, you'll be fired. And even when you pack your gen, ensure that when you pack your gen, you don't pack your gen where they are burning material like clothes, because that gen that has run is heated. The zephyr is hot. So contact with any kind of free burning material like clothing, paper, there'll be ignition. So all of this, when you now check your gen properly, keep it well where there's ventilation, the tendency of outbreak of fire will be reduced.
So we can basically say that firefighting is for everybody.
Everybody is a fireman.
Everybody is a fireman.
By virtue of prevention.
Okay.
Because the best firefighting aspect is prevention. And that much as we can't do without fire. Fire, as I say, is a good servant but a very rugged master. Don't allow him to take over your control, but control fire at all times. Then you can enjoy fire. But when you allow it go over your control, become a destroyer.
Yes, boss.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Clinton. It's good to have you on the program.
Thank you so much. Thank you, viewers.
Okay, and that's about the size of our package on this edition of the show. Join us again. That's how we do it every week. We get out and we talk to men from the Cross River State Fire Service. We talk about fire prevention, firefighting, a whole lot of things that you and I need to do so that the society will be fire free. And everybody give way when you hear the sirens, give way to the firefighters. It could be your house, it could be just anybody. So my name is Abemiri Adi. Join us again.
Snooping is the process of looking around or investigating furtively in an attempt to find out something, especially information about someone's private affairs. Snooping is being curious to know so many things about your partner or friend without his or her permission. How would you feel if your spouse were to check your email to see who you've been contacting and what you've been saying, or to check your internet history to determine the internet sites you've been visiting, or to look over your texting history and cell phone records? Here are some downsides of being a snooper. It is addictive. Checking someone's phone is like scratching a rash. It itches, so you believe that by scratching it, you get relief. But instead, the more you scratch, the more it spreads, and the more scratching you need to do. The best policy is to never start scratching at all. Even if you don't find anything suspicious when you check, the act of checking has become associated with the feelings of relief. So every time you seek relief, you may feel the urge to go through snooping. It is a lose situation if you check your partner's phone or email. You are faced with the dilemma of having to deal with the outcome of your actions. If you found nothing, the relief you feel will quickly be replaced with guilt, and now you're struck with the uncomfortable feeling of knowing that you violated the privacy and trust of the person. Looking into your spouse's activities without permission constitutes spying or snooping. Today's digital world offers endless opportunities to spy on your spouse's day-to-day activities. Reading email messages, viewing text messages and call histories, logging into your spouse's social media account, or listening to your spouse's voicemail messages all constitutes snooping. Snooping is problematic. Snooping is a home breaker. So to avoid rancor in your homes, marriages and relationships, we have to do away with snooping. Hello there, good morning and welcome to Good Morning Cross River Friday. Our mandate is on work and urban renewal, but today we'll be deviating from that. We'll be talking on snooping. We're going out to find out people's opinion on what snooping really means to them. Join me as we go over to the streets. I am Anne Eyikwaje.
It's not good to go into somebody's privacy. Like text message, if I have a phone, my wife doesn't touch my phone and I doesn't touch her phone. If we receive the call, I will only call her to come and pick her calls. If likewise myself, if I got a call, he will call me, Daddy, come and pick your call. I don't open my wife's phone because it can cause problem. If you go into all those things, it can cause problem in the family, it can cause a divorce. You may go into your wife and you see some bad text. As from there, you begin to think otherwise. It can cause divorce of marriage. So it's not good for somebody to go into somebody's privacy, mostly especially text messages that come into phone. You can have your account inside which is private, known to you. But you want another person open it and go through what is there. He has known all your secrets, so it's not polite.
I am Mr. Gabriel Udo. Well, the subject of snooping oftentimes has brought a lot of controversy. In the first instance, I want to say, let me use myself as an example. I am married, happily married. I don't see anything wrong snooping into my wife's phone because I expect absolute fidelity on my wife as a person. So I have the very right to snoop on her phone. Well, that's personal. But to other people, the law of privacy feel obtained. Before you snoop into your friend's phone, courtesy demands that you have that permission from him. Because sometimes there are ugly things on phone that you don't need to look at, and that information is only meant for the person. So in that aspect, it is bad. But before I will end up this discussion, I want to advise couples. Most times we have breakup in marriages here and there just because that absolute trust is not there on the part of couple. So we should be open. To me, it's good and as well a bad thing. Thank you.
My name is Gospel. Actually, I think smoking is not good. Why? Because it do bring problems in the house. But at the same time, it's good to know your husband's privacy. Like maybe how much your husband has in a bank account. Because the Bible says that when a man is married, you are no longer two, you are one. So husband and wife are one. It's good to be honest, but I don't think smoking is good.
My name is Joshua John Polinis. I'm from Tribal State, to be precise. Talking about the context of the case, smoking is not a very good thing at all. Brings up so much suspiciousness. If you're not trusting your spouse or anybody that you're trying to sleep around with, it's not going to be this trustworthiness. So in the whole context about the whole smoking thing, it's not good, it's not encouraging. Nobody should snoop. I don't encourage snooping.
My name is Thompson. I'm a consultant. Well, snooping, as far as wife and husband is concerned, it's okay if you go by what the Bible teaches. Because the Bible makes us to understand that the wife and the husband are just the same, they are one. And so whatever the husband does, the wife should know about it. And whatever the husband does, the wife should know about it also, because as we know, if two are one, everything about them should be just one. And we have a situation whereby one of them departs and leave the other ones for the other one to take care of. So assume I have a bank account and my wife does not know about it, and then maybe something happened to me. So it means that all my money in the bank will just be lost. But if my wife happens to know my bank account, then she can go in, get all the process involved, and then get the money and take care of the children, and life continues. That's why Snoopy, as far as wife and husband is concerned, is just okay, going by the word of God.
I am Fidelis Babi. When you talk of living as a Christian, when I mean a Christian, I mean devoted Christian. You can open up to your wife. No, sometimes why people are scared of opening up to their wives is because when they do that, their wife takes advantage. You know, women can do and undo. That's why some men are scared of showing their bank account, showing their phone to their wives. But then, you as a man, if you know that you're not doing something bad, with your phone, what stops you from giving to your wife? And that is a wedded couple. Like most of the times, my wife sees my phone, she uses my phone, I use her own, because we trust ourselves. Then, in terms of accounts, if your wife is next of kin, if your wife is a next of kin, you should know everything about your account. Your wife will hold children for you. It's like you, part of you. The day you wedded her, the priest must have told you that 1 + 1 is 1. So whatever you are doing is 1. But then, as you are doing it too, you have to be very careful. I'm Mr. Richard Ayade by name. I think, in my own opinion, it is not good for one to invade into someone's privacy. Because invading into someone's privacy, you might likely see what you were not supposed to see. And when you have seen that, it will bring problems. And that problems, before it will come, you will find it difficult to solve the issue because you were not expecting it to come. So to me, Sloppy, I think it's not a good idea for one to invade into someone's privacy.
Typical Nodin is my name. I cannot easily say it is not a black and white thing at all. It depends on the situation. But I do not snoop, and I don't expect nobody to snoop. I mean, because if a lady wants to flirt around, definitely she has every means and right to do that. And if a man wants to do the same, so What else do you want me to say? Depends on the individual, right? That's all what I can say. Thank you.
My name is Afion James. I don't think it is a bad thing for a husband to carry the wife phone. As a Christian, I don't see anything wrong there. Because the Bible doesn't make us to understand that 1 + 1 is 1. So the husband has the right to carry the wife. The wife also has the right to carry the husband. So there's nothing wrong there. Except there is something hidden. If there is something that are hiding from one another. But if it is genuine something, there's no problem there. In fact, the husband can carry the wife phone and go to anywhere. They can exchange phone. Husband carry wife phone, wife also carry the husband phone. I don't see any problem there.
Okay, viewers, you feel it and edit all for yourself. Snooping, so many people say it's a bad thing, and some say it's okay to snoop. Do well to join us as Good Morning Cross River continues. I am Anne.
I am Stephanie Ewa. On today's segment of the show, we'll be talking on selfies. Are you a lover of selfies? Are you a fan of selfies? Or what's your opinion on selfies? All this and many more on the segment of the show. Don't touch the dial.
Take a selfie. Take a pose. Make sure you notch it. Leave it like that. All my party for America. All my babies for Tanzania. Celeb pop on the beat. Oh, yeah. Everybody want to take a selfie. Everybody want to take a pose. Yeah. Selfie no me say you selfish. Yeah. But as for me, I just a pose. Selfie. Oh yeah, pose for me, my baby. Oh yeah, smile for me, my baby. Oh yeah, cheese for me, my baby. Oh, are you ready to take a selfie? Everybody want to take a selfie, oh. Hey. Everybody want to take a position. Hey. Oh yeah, put your hands up in the air. I say camera in the air. Face your hands up like this, oh. Take a selfie, take a pose. I say make sure you notch it. Leave it like that.
My name is Vivian. Okay, about the selfie stick these days, I don't really like the way the youth use it. Though it has a way you can use it for taking pictures. It has an advantage of taking pictures, especially in a large crowd or when there's an occasion. But the way people use it these days, just on the street or in the market or anywhere, you just see people, the next thing they're using it to take pictures. It doesn't make sense, and it has really affected the youth of these days because everybody wants to get it at all costs, and I don't like it because I don't use it, so I don't like it.
My name is Precious Okuchukwu. I'm a core member serving here in Calabar. So about selfie stick, I don't see it as a necessity. It's not a necessity at all. For me personally, I see it as maybe just for luxury, for students or maybe anybody that attaches importance to it and maybe puts it first or second in the present scale of preference. I think that is crazy. It's not supposed to be like that. For me, it's just even the camera, the phone camera and the normal camera for picture, that's enough. Now bringing in selfie stick, though in line with what people try to borrow the culture of foreign people, I think that's basically why they are trying to see if they can fit in line with the foreign culture. But the truth remains, for me personally, it's not a pressing need. It's not a pressing need at all. So it shouldn't be kind of a necessity, or people shouldn't give it so much attention for it to distract them or to even take the attention they should have been given to other things, other people. If they have their money, let them use it for things that are useful, for their materials, books and other things which they need now for their academic activities, instead of spending their money on selfie stick and which doesn't necessarily add any direct value to them.
My name is Rehab Ojong. I'm a student in Unical. I want to talk about selfie stick that most students use. So they use it according to them to help themselves in snapping themselves, not knowing the effect it will have on them. Sometimes they may use it on the road without wanting to know whether a vehicle is coming just because they want to do what they call selfie, and they're snapping themselves to post on Facebook and WhatsApp and the rest. It's not good for them. I want to tell them that although they are using it to help themselves, but it's not good. The effect is the case. So they should make sure that they avoid it. You can ask someone to use the phone to snap you instead of using it by yourself. Even in the choice, some get distracted by it. It's not the best. So my advice to them is that they should try and avoid it. Thank you.
My name is Tishon Kumar. My opinion on selfie stick is it's cool. Like you need to take pictures and you need to get everybody, in the diaphragm or in the border. You don't have to stress yourself. Like when we have to do that back in the days where you have to turn the camera back to try to position yourself, but these days we just click and it's eyes. I think it's faster, it's fun, it's stylish.
I'm Lesness Yombasi from Cross River State here. I love selfie stick because of the way it is. Like if you want to take a picture with a selfie stick, you can like take a shot from your head to your toe, and it will be very bright. And I love the stick. I love it very much.
My name is Ekwe Samuel, and about selfie sticks, they just help to facilitate snapping better selfies. It doesn't really distract anybody.
I'm Miriam Agadi Gailia. For me, selfie stick has done more harm than good side, because many students go about stealing money to get it because their friends have it. And also during classes, students are outside taking pictures with it, and they take it to church to do other things while something important is happening inside. So for me, it has done more harm than good to society.
I've seen girls fronting around with it, using the past carnival as an example. In the other way around, I would say in the other way around, I would say it's fun, but in the other way around, it's not fun, because you can't imagine ourselves snapping by the roadside. What if vehicles are coming and you see someone on the ground just because he or she is using a selfie stick to flaunt around with his or herself, to have fun with herself? There's a saying that said, in everything there's always a disadvantage and an advantage of it. Fine, it's fun because you use it to get pictures, post it on Facebook, you use it for one or two things you want to use it for. The disadvantage of it is because girls or boys use it in the position they're not supposed to be using it, by the roadside, when you're supposed to be doing some things that are very important for you. You don't do it any longer, not because you want to use selfie stick to have fun, to snap pictures for yourself. So me, I advise girls to limit the rate in which they use selfie stick. Not that it's not good, it's good, but you limit the way you use it. Use it at the appropriate time, when it's needed for you to use it, not when you know you're not supposed to use it. Thank you very much.
My name is Batikop. My own opinion on selfie, well, I see the positive side of it anyway, because maybe someone feels happy in an environment and would want to have a selfie as a reminder of that environment or as a memory of it. Well, some other people say it has a negative side, but for me, I don't really see the negative side of it. I just see the positive side of it, as whatever the environment or wherever the person finds himself and wants to have a reminder of that environment, the person can have a selfie of himself or herself in that environment. That's just my opinion.
Selfie! Oh, yeah, post for me, my baby. Oh, yeah, smile for me, my baby. Oh, yeah, choose for me, my baby. Oh, are you ready to take a selfie? Everybody want to take a selfie, oh. Hey, everybody want to take a position. Oh, yeah, put your hands up in the air. I say camera in the air. Place your hands up like this, oh. Take a selfie, take a pose. I say make sure you match it. Leave it like that. Take a selfie, take a pose. If you don't like it, I say make you put on filter. Insta hot, Insta fresh, Insta cute, Insta like, Insta follow, Insta Joanna. I say Insta yo-yo, all in the name of photo. Oh yeah, post for me, my baby. Oh yeah, smile for me, my baby. Oh yeah, choose for me, my baby. If you are ready to take a selfie, yeah. Everybody want to take a selfie, oh. Hey, everybody want to take a position. take a selfie, take a pose. Say make sure you not it, leave it like that. Take a selfie, take a pose. If you don't like it, I say make you put on filter. Selfie up, down it, selfie right it, left it. Oh my look at you, everybody feeling you. Nobody selfie like you do. I want a selfie for me and you. Take a selfie, take a pose. I say make sure you match it, leave it like that. Take a selfie, take a pose. If you don't like it, I say make you put on filter. Everybody want to take a selfie, oh. Everybody want to take a position. Oh yeah, put your hands up in the air. I say camera in the air, place your hands up like this, oh. Take a selfie, take a pose. I say make sure you match it, leave it like that. Take a selfie, take a pose. If you don't like it, I say make you put on filter.
Well, you've heard it all, and I hope you've learnt one or two things. If you must at least take selfies, don't do it in a church, in a classroom, and the likes. Do it in a more convenient environment. Thanks for staying with us throughout the segments of this program. Good Morning Cross River continues in a Tuesday. I am Stephanie Ewa.
A hug is a form of physical intimacy, universal in human communities, in which two people put their arms around the neck, back, or waist of one another and hold each other closely. A hug sometimes is a form of non-verbal communication, depending on culture, context, and relationship. A hug can indicate familiarity, love, affection, friendship, brotherhood, or sympathy. A hug can indicate support, comfort, and consolation, particularly where words are insufficient. A hug usually demonstrates affection and emotional warmth, sometimes arising from joy or happiness when reunited with someone or seeing someone absent after a long time. A hug is practiced publicly and privately without stigma in many countries, religions, and cultures, within families, and also across age and gender lines. Hugging may be undertaken as part of a ritual or social act in certain social groups. It is a custom in Latin cultures such as France, Spain, and Latin America for male friends to hug as well as slap each other in the back in a joyous greeting. However, there are basically 8 types of hugs: the booty type of hug, the sleepy shoulder type of hug, the polite kind of hug, the bread kind of hug, quickie type of hug, unreciprocated hug, snuggle type of hug, and the squeezed hug. Hugging has been proven to have health benefits. One study has shown that hugs increase levels of oxytocin and reduce blood pressure. A group hug has been found to be a useful tool in group therapy to cement cohesion. Hugging brings joy or happiness. Hugging is extremely effective at healing sickness, disease, loneliness, depression, anxiety, anger, stress, and isolation. Hugs lift one's serotonin levels, elevating mood and creating happiness. Hugs strengthen the immune system. The gentle pressure on the sternum and the emotional charge activates the solar plexus chakra, which eventually stimulates the thymus gland, regulates and balances the body's production of white blood cells, which keep the body healthy and disease-free. Hugging boosts self-esteem and gives a sense of belonging. Hugging relaxes muscles and releases tension in the body. Hugs teach us how to give and receive. Hugs educate us on how love flows both ways. Hugs are so much like meditation and laughter. They teach us to let go and be present in the moment. Hugs encourage us to flow with the energy of life. Hugs get you out of your secular thinking patterns and connect you with your heart, feelings, and breath. Hug encourages empathy and understanding. Apparently, hugs have a variety of meanings associated with them to different people. The question is, what does hug mean to you?
James Uchuba. To me, hug means closeness, friendliness. It shows a sign of peace between two people or amongst people. Really, I enjoy people taking hugs, and I like to take hugs, though not very closely with people that are distant, but very close with my people that are close to me.
I'm Elizabeth. Hugging is a sign of love. It can also help hugging has a lot of things to do with human life, especially for those that have hypertension. There are ways of expressing yourself by hugging. Maybe somebody was depressed. Through hugging, the person will be, happy and will be lively. Hugging also has to do with a way of expression and love, as I've said before. So I think hugging has to do a lot of things to human life. I encourage hugging. It's a very good way of expression. Though in Nigerian mentality, people think hugging is a bad way. Maybe you see somebody hugging the other opposite sex and you read meaning to it. But I think hugging is really a way of expression.
Young Edemi from the second, from Cross River State, Calabar precisely. My take on hug is that hug is a sign of love and friendship. For example, you have missed someone for a while, and one of the ways you can express yourself to the person, either not just by handshake, but you give the person a hug, it goes as far as to extend love to the player and make he or she feels welcome, accepted, and celebrated around you. That's what I can tell. And I think it also has a health benefit in that the more happier you are, the more likely you're going to live longer and more healthy. That's just my take on it.
For me, hug is just a sign of friendship and a sign of showing passion and empathy for somebody. When it reduces depression, anger, and it reduces a little amount of loneliness.
Hug can make the sick one to feel strength, and can also make somebody that is sad to be happy. That's what I think.
Going on and off time. It's passing some form of message depending on the relationship with the person. Like maybe if I meet somebody that is sick, there is some kind of comfort the person gets from hugging. You understand? It helps reduce some form of stress or any form of stress that the sick person might be going through. Then if you meet a loved one or somebody you have some kind of intimacy with, hugging also tells a message, passes some kind of message of affection.
My name is Chris, popularly known as Chris Vance. We'll talk about hugging. Hugging is like, the passion inside you. A lot of guys, they talk, when you hug a guy, people feel, okay, it is wrong. But absolutely it's not wrong because it's passion, Sometimes you shake, it's normal. But hugging, to me, I feel hugging is the final passion that you can give to someone. Bring it out from your deep inside. That is why it helps because, sometimes you can imagine you see a friend who's not putting on a good clothes and someone still has the passion to hug him. To give him joy, It make the person feel this confidence in him, giving him full trust. So hugging is good, like it's really good.
It means love. If you hug anybody, that shows love to that person.
In the words of Virginia Satir, a respected family therapist, I quote, "We need 4 hugs a day for survival. We need 8 hugs a day for maintenance, and 12 hugs a day for growth. Sometimes a hug is all you need to make you feel better. When it seems all hell is breaking loose in you, get a hug."
This is where we call it a wrap and Vivian Crossover Friday edition. That's how we do it when it's Friday.
Okay, rest has come. Weekend is here. Like we normally say, thank God it is Friday. For us, work is done, right?
Exactly.
For us, our day has ended. Our working day has ended. So rest can start the minute the end credit rolls for me and you.
Exactly, and for many, rest will start when it's 12 or when it's 2.
Some is when it's 7 p.m. Some may close at 10
then
p.m.
it's not half day after all.
You know, and all of that. Okay, I'd like to say thank you very much for being with us from the beginning of the show up until this moment. We will return, hopefully as well, on Monday with another bashing edition. My name is Inten Ekman. Thank God it's Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Bye for now.
And my name is Abanuri Adi. Have a very, very beautiful weekend, and do not forget to hug someone and put a smile on someone's face. See you on Monday.